It's the Dreamscape.
Welcome back, dreamers, to Indie Synergy Exchange, your podcast for all things indie art and creativity. I'm your host, Tanner Geesey, also known as Number 2 Pencil Man, and owner of Tanner's Tales Entertainment. I have to plug the little merch since I got it now. And joining me tonight, I have my wonderful co-host.
Frae official.
And what are you, Frae?
I'm the artist guy. I'm the token on this podcast.
Oh yeah, no, he's also
I'm
my
Tanner's
best friend.
friend.
Oh my gosh, he said it! Woo! And don't let that big news overshadow our amazing, talented guest that we have with us tonight. We have Rocio and
Whoop whoop.
Oh my god! I love it.
So does the audience, Rocio. And I don't know why. Hey, I'm getting better with the soundboard, at least from the last time I used it. But before we get into our special guest tonight, I got to do all the fun podcast promotional stuff. Obviously, you guys know the drill. It's been about 30 episodes now. This is our milestone 30th episode, and it's going to be a great one. But in case you don't know, we also have 29 other episodes before this, which all mostly have special guests. There's maybe 4 that don't have a different guest, but we had guests of all kinds in the indie world. We've had authors, poets, indie comic creators. We've had wrestlers, clowns, doctors of psychologists, musicians, small businesses. If it can be done independently and is like a form of art and creation, which is pretty much open to interpretation, we've had it on the show and we'll continue to have it on the show. So, if you like what we've been doing, please consider giving us a thumbs up, interacting with our content, maybe sharing it. And of course, the biggest thing you can do is subscribe to our channel. It helps us grow this platform for all the amazing indie talent to, get an even bigger spotlight on what they do because they all deserve it. The indie world has so much to offer. So if you enjoy what we're doing, please consider doing all that. And yeah, that's it for the spiel. Without further ado, we are going to turn it over to Rocio. So Rocio, tell us who you are and share a little bit about what you do.
All right. Hi, I'm Rocio, and I am an indie author, and I also own my publishing imprint, Queen of Wands Books. And yeah, I write books for a living. I travel around, I sell them, and hope that you all like them too.
Very awesome.
Yeah, short and sweet, but still,
Short, sweet, to the point.
I love it. What kind of books do you specialize in as an author?
So I mainly write fantasy and a little bit of horror. So my second book is coming out September 30th. That one's called Flame in the Silver Storm. And then, like the psycho that I am, I also have a horror short story collection coming out October 13th because I was like, why not? It's spooky season, so let's do it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
There you go.
2 releases really close to each other. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's a little bit of madness here. Why not? I was like, you know what? I could do it. I'm in charge of my own publishing schedule, so let's do it.
There you go.
That's why we love being indie. We're in charge of how we do things, when we
Yes.
do it. Nothing beats it.
hmm
When did you publish your first book? How many books do you have published, I should say first?
So it'll be by October 13th, it'll be 3 books published. Before that, I was doing short stories with magazines. So I
Okay.
had a couple of short stories published in magazines. And I hope I answered the question. My mind literally just went on a little ADHD spiral.
Hey, that's fine. That's pretty cool. So you started with magazines.
Yeah, exactly. Literally was just submitting to magazines, and I was like, oh, nobody's gonna want to read my little stories. And then all of a sudden, I started getting offers and acceptances. So I was like, maybe I should do a novel one day. And 2 years after I first started publishing my short stories in magazines, I was like, okay, let's do it. And there you go. Here we are.
Wow, that's awesome.
Thanks. So to answer your initial question, because now it came back to me, Blood of the Blackthorn was my debut novel, and I published that on March of this year.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
So now, in the span of from March to October, you're going to have 3 books out.
Yeah.
That's really impressive, I gotta say. I don't know too many authors that are publishing more than 1 book a year, if they even do one a year. So
I
that's
think for
awesome.
me, I had a lot of, like, even before I had published my debut novel, I had so many works in progresses. So it wasn't as if I was like, all right, let's start something brand new. It was like a collection of stories I've had on the back burner, stuffed inside drawers, on some random trash file in my computer. And then I was like, all right, well, we got to focus on something because again, I literally will have this like neurodivergent like tangent within myself where I'll go ahead and find different stories and then I'll turn around like a golden retriever and be like, but that one sounds interesting too. And I was like, no, we got to focus. So.
That's awesome.
What made you choose like the fantasy genre instead of
Mm.
any other genre?
So I've always, I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone probably says this, but I've always read fantasy, loved fantasy. Specifically, I also liked horror as well. And it actually came down between two different stories when I was deciding which one to like commit to a novel with. And it was a horror one and then a fantasy one. And honestly, I went on a trip to Washington State. And if you've ever been to Washington State, it's very like dreary, gloomy, a bit
Mm.
moody
Absolutely.
when it's not those 6 weeks of summer. And I actually lived there for 3 years during, I mean, it wasn't during this time, but years ago, I lived there for 3 years. And so I went back on a vacation. I was like, you know what, let me just go back there again. And I was on a trip with my family and we were just going through the gloom and it was like getting dark and it was kind of
Mm.
eerie. And then I started thinking to myself, like, what would happen if people got lost in those woods? And like, what if like they were sisters? And what if like it kind of just like spiraled until Blood of the Blackthorn, the idea of it came to fruition. And I was like, oh, that this is just such a good fantasy one because the story that Blood of the Blackthorn is now was completely almost different from the story that started at its infancy. I initially it was going to be about two sisters and one goes through a magical portal and then they get separated, one in a mortal
Mm.
world and then one in a like a fantasy world. And what it turned into was what my debut novel was is technically they're all in a fantasy world except one is in an island with witches and the other one is in a mortal kingdom and they're both raised very differently.
Interesting. Do you find that your trajectory of your stories change easily like that? Like you'll just have kind of like a random thing that you're doing, and then you're like, you know what, the story should go this direction.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay, so I don't know if y'all have heard the concept of a pantser versus a plancer versus a planner. Okay, so a planner is an author or writer who literally plans out an outline first before they even start on their book or story. They'll have an outline, they'll go by it, use the snowflake method, etc. Then you have a pantser, which is someone who flies off the seat of their pants, which is an author who's like, I'm just gonna write whatever comes to me. I'm just gonna keep doing it. And then a planter, which is what I am, is someone who's like, I'm gonna go off this feeling. I'm just gonna write a bunch of stuff, and then halfway through, I'm like, oh my God, it's everywhere. I need an outline. So I'm
It
definitely
doesn't
like
make
a
sense at
plancer
all.
because I will go off the seat of my pants and be like, oh, I'm feeling this, and the trajectory will change. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, wait, hold on. It's getting too out of control. I need to like rein it in and like make it make sense. Because if it don't make sense to me, it ain't gonna make sense to anybody else.
I think that's a great. I've never heard of that before. The 3 different types.
Yes. Hmm.
It helps me out
I'm,
because now I know I'm the second one when it comes to my comic book because I never
yeah,
really plan it out too much. Like I have like a loose outline maybe in my head,
yeah.
but it's like I'm gonna just fill it in as I go, and it works.
Literally, I'm doing a panel on planners versus pantsers at Fall into Books Fest, which I'm going to be at tomorrow. And
Oh.
the whole panel is literally about planners versus pantsers. And then I'm over here in the center, like, I'm a planter. I'm gonna give you a little bit of everything, which is
Mhm.
chaos, really.
I love it.
That's
That's so
awesome.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask, to go back to the
Mhm.
beginnings, because we know that you've been writing now and for magazines and your own novels, but how did you even get started with writing? Like, was it something that you always wanted to do, or tell us about your journey into becoming an author?
Okay, so I've always written, but it was one of those things where you're kind of told, like, okay, you need to be a doctor or a lawyer.
Mhm.
And I am a yapper, so I was always told growing up, you just need to be a lawyer. Just be a lawyer. And so I kind of like my writing dreams kind of went off to the wayside because I was like, oh, it's not realistic. I can't do it. Like, not even as a hobby, it's not worth it. And so I went and lived life, is what I like to say, for a few years until about a couple of years ago. I was 29 at the time. And I was having the 29 panic, when you're like, oh my God, I'm about to turn 30 and my life is going to be over. And by the way, anyone listening, it's not over. I promise you, you're still the same. But I was having the 29 panic where I was just like, oh my God, I haven't accomplished anything. And like, I'm about to turn 30 and oh my goodness. And so I started writing and I started
Mm.
writing. At first, it was just like therapeutic. I was writing like little stories about my life and just like it was one of those things that's going to stay on the back burner for the rest of my life kind of thing. And then I went on that vacation I told you about where I was kind of thinking about like, oh, what if people got lost in the woods and all this other stuff. And then I was like, you know what? And this was December 2023 at the time. And then in January, I literally sat myself down and was like, okay, like you have an MBA, girl, like you know how to make a business plan. Sit down and actually like take yourself seriously and see what happens. So I sat down, made a business plan, decided to take myself seriously, and I was like, okay, you know what? I can commit to a book. I can, because
Mhm.
at that point I'd already submitted a little stories to magazines with my 29 panic, like, so I was like, okay, I can do this. And that's really what happened. I committed to doing a fantasy story, and then it kind of just blossomed and bloomed into this massive thing. Um, but I think what really played a big, big part in me doing it faster than I initially planned was the fact that I had heart surgery. So
Mm.
in June of 2024, I was told that I would need heart surgery. And like any major surgery, then you have the surgery panic where you're just like, oh my goodness, like what if something happens?
Right.
So they told me I would have like 6 to 8 months and then I would absolutely need the surgery. Otherwise, they would have to do more of a mechanical or major repair on top of the repair they already had to do.
Mm.
So I was like, okay, 6 to 8 months to actually implement this plan and release my debut novel. And that's really what ended up happening. It was kind of the dark humor joke is like, oh, if you ever, stuck in a rut, just pretend you're about to go get heart surgery because it'll make you just want to do things really fast. Um, and so, yeah, I just decided, okay, the worst anyone could say is no. And so I literally just started applying to things, putting myself out there, applying to podcasts, like all throughout 2024 was literally the year of like the grind. I literally
Mhm.
was writing my novel. I was on everywhere I can get, FaceTime or even with Bookstagram, etc. I literally was putting myself out there because I was living as if like, okay, I might have heart or I will have heart surgery in February 2025. Like this is it. Like if knock on wood, if something were to happen, I want to make sure I said I did everything I could.
Mhm.
And honestly, that ended up leading to actually releasing my novel in March of 2025. So I hope that made
Wow.
sense. I kind of went on a little
Oh,
bit of a
that's great.
tangent there. Okay.
Yeah.
No, no, no.
I mean, that's an amazing like testimony to you, honestly. Like, I'm
Ah,
gonna come up with this plan and put it into action, and that's amazing. Like, you stuck to it. And I totally like I've heard other people say like they've had something big come up in their lives and it like
mhm.
shifted everything, and that's kind of what spurred
Yeah.
them into, you know, mm, doing the things that they always wanted to do.
Mhm.
So, wow, that's obviously you're alive and well. So, I mean,
Yes, I'm good
that's
now.
a good thing. That's a very good thing. So you got to
Yeah.
do that.
My
You
heart is
launched
pumping.
yourself,
Nice.
and
Mhm.
then now you get to keep doing it, which is so
Mhm.
cool.
Yep. I'm
was gonna say,
literally living the aftermath of it because as I was telling Frey earlier, I was like, I literally just started applying for everything and I was like, oh, worst they could say is no. But then I started getting all the acceptances. And, there was a bunch of rejections in there as well. Let me just be clear. But
mhm.
I started getting a bunch of acceptances where now I'm like, oh, now I actually have to do the logistics and I have to be there. And, it has been just as 2024 was the year of the grind, but 2025, while it's also grinding as well, like it is really a lot of fun because I'm like, okay, I actually have a book to show people. Like I actually have, things I can, work off of as well. So it's funny, but also incredible, I guess.
Yeah. And how have people received your book since it's been out now? Like since it launched,
Yeah.
how have you been getting feedback for it, I guess, and what have been people's most common thing to tell you about it?
So for Blood of the Blackthorn, that was my debut. I'm almost at, hey, I think I only need like 5 more reviews and I have 100 reviews on Goodreads. So
Wow.
Awesome.
so yeah. But honestly, like it
Super
if
delayed.
you're
I'm sorry.
listening, read and review. Which is just incredible because like I put that novel out and whenever you put your first anything out, especially if it's
Hmm.
artistic or creative, you're literally just having this like mild anxiety attack, like, oh my God, I'm putting my baby out there in the world and like what if they don't see it the way I do? Or I'm like, let me just hide myself a little bit because I don't think I can handle like criticism right now because it's so vulnerable. That's the word. You're
Oh yeah.
putting yourself in such a vulnerable position. And at first, I was very, very nervous, very scared. And then I got a lot of good feedback. Obviously, like, you know, both Goodreads, Storygraph, etc. All the reviews are nice, but I think the funnest part is people sending me like DMs or tagging me in their posts and just talking about the book or even some of the crazy DMs about one of my villains who they say they could change, which by the way, he's evil. He's a monster. You can't change Mark.
You
It's
can
not gonna
change
happen.
him.
I could change him. I'm so sorry to all you in my DMs. He's not changing. He's staying evil. There is no redemption arc there. That's not a spoiler. He's just evil.
Hey, we need a good villain for the sake of being a
We
villain
need a
that
good
doesn't get the
villain.
redemption at
Yes,
all.
exactly. I think that was, yeah, some of the just funniest parts is just I didn't expect all that to happen, and I also didn't expect for my book to for me to blow up in the way that it did because I had very, very low expectations. It was very much
Hmm.
like, oh, maybe like one person might see it and it might not be that big of a deal kind of thing. And it just astronomical. And I'm so blessed and grateful for it, honestly.
I can
At your
totally relate to that. Oh, sorry, Frey.
No, you're good. You're good.
I was just
Um,
gonna say,
no, go ahead.
sorry, Frey. I just want to make a comment along the lines because I can relate to what you were saying, like how when we put it out there, we feel like, oh, hey, here's this. Please be nice to me, but I'm expecting you to be like terrible to me. Um, I honestly didn't expect as much positive feedback about my own comic books when I first like got it published
Hmm.
after Frey and I finished it together and I had the product. I'm like, all right, the first person who's gonna buy this is gonna like think I'm a total weirdo, and they're gonna tell me how much they hate it. And I still have yet to have somebody just outright say that they hate my book.
Yeah.
Like nobody's even
Yeah.
said anything like super mean about it at all. They just like I get the people who are like, "Oh, this is fantastic! Like, tell me more about this," or "Oh, we can't wait till this character does this," or "Oh, you left us on a cliffhanger," and it's
Yes.
so like I was so worried that I was gonna get somebody who's like, number two pencil man is like the stupidest superhero ever, and you just should stop. But I haven't gotten that, and I'm just like, huh, man. It's funny how we talk ourselves into that state of mind, and then it's like maybe that's
Yeah.
not how it's gonna be at all. And obviously, as you can say, it's like that's not how it's been for us, which is
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah.
That's all, Frey. I just wanted to.
No, no, you're good. You're good. You're good. I will remember my question and come back to it. Don't you worry.
Now it's your turn.
What is one of your most memorable moments at the booth with one of
Mm.
the people that have come up and bought your book?
The first, actually, it will probably be the first time somebody actually recognized me. and it was at a Get Lit in the thing's called Get Lit Book Fair, and it was at a Get Lit
Love
in
it.
Dallas, Texas. And I'm not from Dallas. I'm from Austin. And so I just traveled up there because I love Get Lit. Shout out to them. They do awesome book fairs. But I remember being there in my booth. I was sharing a table with somebody, and somebody came up and they were like, "Oh my God, I got to meet you in person." And I literally was like looking around. I was like, they can't be talking to me. I'm just like a quirky author who likes to like dance in my booth sometimes. Like, and so I think that was probably the craziest moment. And then they even asked to take a picture and everything. And I was over here like dressed as if I had moved a bunch of boxes because that's what I did. So I was over here like, oh, yes, you can totally take a picture. I learned my lesson that day onward. Make sure you're presentable.
I love
Oh,
it.
man.
That is such a great story.
Yeah.
It's so
It-
weird when we start getting recognized for our work. It's really,
Yes.
really awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome, but I don't think I'm used to it still because I'm just like, who are you talking to?
you never get used to
Just, I'm
it.
Joe Schmo off the street. What are you talking about?
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get very excited when so my Inlock series when
Mhm.
people come up to the booth and they're like, "Hey, so where's the fourth one?" Like, and I'm like, it's like they're like demanding it. Like, no, where's the fourth one? Get in your room and work on that fourth one. Get it
It's
to
like Misery. Have
right.
y'all ever seen Misery
Yes.
or read the book? Okay,
Mhm.
by Stephen King. It's essentially, I'm trying to think of the best like reference to it, but it's where she has him. Like, okay, long story short. So Stephen King wrote this book called Misery, which is pretty much about a guy who gets like in a car accident, and a woman
Mm,
from like in the middle of nowhere, a woman in the middle of nowhere saves him during like a blizzard. So he's like injured, but he's forced to stay at her house because it's like in the middle of the blizzard, but she's like crazy and she forces
mm,
him like she tells him like, "Oh, I'm your number one fan. I'm your number one fan." Because he writes like a series of like romance novels, and she forces him to like write it in his like guest room. And yeah, anyways, all that to say, I don't know where I was going with that, but the point is though that as long as you don't have any miseries out here, so the person telling you have to write the fourth one, it's like it's a misery thing.
Yes. Yes. I can see it happening. Yes.
I'll protect you, Frae.
Right.
Yeah, the number two pencil man has got you.
Yes,
Okay.
always.
There you go.
Please come
Just
rescue me.
yeah,
Like
erase them.
yeah, it's this one person, and she's so sweet. But I know every time she sees me, she's like, "Where's the book?" Like I have a
Like
feeling she might be the
pressure.
misery person behind like the smile.
No.
Hopefully, that person's not listening to this episode of the podcast.
If she does, she
If
knows
you are,
she's.
if,
I got love for her. I got
there,
love.
there you go. See, we got love. We
Just
got
don't
love.
kidnap him, or else we're gonna have some
Right, just don't
problems.
kidnap me. Slows the process down.
He needs to
There you
finish
go.
my series too.
Oh my God. What was so funny is I'm releasing my third book, which is it's trilogy, and my third and final book for this series I'm going to be releasing in the spring. And somebody had finished one of the advanced reader copies of book two, and they were like, "We need to know what happens next," because I'm evil and I love leaving people on cliffhangers. And so they're like, "We need to know what happens, all this other stuff." And I was like, "Oh, it's coming out in the spring." And they're like, "Well, I'm from Australia. It's already spring now." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'm sorry. Winter for you then." Winter is coming. It's just not here yet, you know?
You're not getting it.
Never.
That's awesome. So this
Speaking of,
book that you have come,
I was going to ask the same question about the book that's coming out. So we're on the
yeah.
same page, Tanner.
All right, cool. Then I'll let you
Yay.
say it.
Stay hydrated.
Yes.
Uh,
Yay.
I was gonna say, so book two that's coming out. Sorry again, Frey. We're like super
No,
synced up
we're gonna
best
say the
friends
same
tonight.
thing, so it's
Yeah.
fine. Good.
So for book two, you're talking about it being a series. Is this the second book in the series? And also, like,
Yes. Here, look, I'll even show y'all.
oh,
This is my
Ooh.
that's
That's a
so cool.
prototype.
book two. Yeah, it's like I love it because I'm gonna gush a little bit, but the interior formatter, she just did like an amazing job. And she did her own design, so it's like So this one's more like Pirates of the Caribbean meets Sirens that lure you to the depths kind of vibes.
Mm.
And she literally did the interior formatting like so well. She made like little ships. I don't know if you could see it,
Oh
but like
yeah.
little ship designs and like sirens. And I was like, I'm obsessed. Anyways, I just love bringing the art back into fantasy. So I always find like I'm stalking these illustrators on Threads, and I'm like, I'm loving their work, and I'll reach out to them and be like, I have a book and I would love for you to add, you to have character art in there as well. So I have like in this one specifically, I think I have 4 or 5 different illustrators who just added illustrations throughout. So I know that wasn't your question, but that is Flaming the Silver Star. I'm gonna go on ADHD tangents this entire
Hey,
time. I'm just
No,
warning
you're
you
good.
now.
fine. Tell us whatever you want to tell us about book 2, because I know you said that you
Hey!
wanted to, talk about it. So let's
Yeah,
see what
here
you got to
I'll
say.
do
Pitch us book
I'll do
2.
the typical author thing, and I'll have it here, right? And I'll just have my face like awkwardly on top of it. But yeah, Flame in the Silver Storm. It's book 2 of the Eternal Curse series. It follows Eve and her band of misfits, aka her familiars, as they escape the Mad King. I won't tell you who the king is because that is a cliffhanger from book 1. Escape the Mad King going on a pirate ship where they are bound for destinations unknown. And really, this just follows what happens when you go over a sea that you're not supposed to be in. Also, this is like my favorite. I know you probably can't see it from this angle because of the words, but like, this is like a pirate ship, and these are like the sirens down here. And I was just like, the artist who did this is absolutely phenomenal. They go by Karaiko on Instagram and Threads, and just chef's kiss to them. Like human artists are amazing and phenomenal, and they deserve all the kudos because what I sent Karaiko so I designed my cover, but they did the art for it, and what I sent Karaiko was stick figures. Literally, I was like, I had stick figure. She's gonna be holding like some fire, and then I just want a ship in turmoil with my little. I did my little, the half circle with the little flag in there looking like a little ship, and I was like, and I want hands coming out of the water, but they're like creepy hands. And as you can tell, Kuraiko did absolutely phenomenal work. And anyways, that's why human artists are absolutely phenomenal and deserve all the kudos forever and ever. So they have my heart.
Oh
I
yeah.
agree.
Yay!
Wow. That's exciting. And
Yeah.
you just published book 1 back in March.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I'm still impressed with that. Like, I don't know too many authors that hit those deadlines like that.
I literally just write. Like, writing has never been an issue for me. I literally write like I talk. So, my first draft, okay, so I like to tell people if they ask, like, how are you writing? Like, all this stuff. And I'm like, this is how I do it. I pretend I am the old woman in a village telling the town lore. And so I literally will sit behind my computer and be like, and then this happened, and then this happened. And it's chaotic. Like, my first drafts are nothing like what ends up this. Like that's all the magic of editing. But like my first drafts are literally like, and then this happened, and then this happened, and this scene happened, and this happened. Oh, but I have to make an outline because it's chaotic. Make the outline, and oh, and this happened, and this happened, and yeah, like that's literally how my writing process is. It's very chaotic, very much as if I'm talking to like or telling the village lore and having a ball with it.
Nice.
So writing is never the issue because I'm also a fast typist. So I literally am over here just like, oh my God, I gotta get it all out, blah blah blah. Um, and then I have over 100,000 words, and I'm like, oh, all right, gotta hack away at it and do some self-editing before it ends up with my editor. So
Yeah, yeah, I understand that. Like, it's just like you have so many ideas coming. You're just like, oh
yeah,
my gosh, get it out before it just
get it out.
disappears.
I know, because a lot of people think that like what the final book of anything, or really comic book, etc. A lot of people think like the final result is like what you started off with, and that could not be further from the truth. Like
Mhm.
literally, the first draft is like what I call the garbage draft. Like you literally are just getting your ideas out there. You're like putting out the garbage. You're just putting it on there. And then really the magic comes with editing when you're finally looking over and being like, oh, okay, this sentence can sound better here. This scene would sound better over here, you know?
Hmm.
And yeah, that's my chaos. I wish I could be more eloquent with it, but at the end of the day, like I'm just me, and it's just chaos.
That's wonderful. Are
Yay!
there any kind of like weird quirks you do to get yourself in the mood to write?
Um,
Have some
okay,
tea or
so
something, or
I'm kind of bizarre and I don't like to have any like music or noise in the background while I
Mm.
write. It literally will distract me. Like I'll be like typing and then if I hear like a song or something going on, I literally get distracted. I'm like, I gotta turn it off. I gotta just like focus my mind. Otherwise my mind will start spiraling. Um, but so that's me when I'm writing. But before I'm writing, usually I just kind of go off of like, oh, I love this. Like, I don't know, if I'm watching like a rom-com and I'm like, I really like the way so and so professor loved to so and so. I literally ask myself like, oh, what if like this was more in a fantasy setting, and what if this was more like in this scene, and what if the circumstances are completely different, and we're just going off of this feeling that you felt watching the scene, or especially like when I was writing this book, I was watching a lot of House of Dragon, and so like I literally was over here like just like the political intrigue, and it's so messy and drama, and like I'm
Mm.
loving it, and I'm eating it all up, and yeah, I just go based off of feeling. I
God,
wish I could say I went off of anything else. It's just feelings, emotions, chaos. Those are my triad right there.
I do a 5 mile run and then I do yoga on the mountaintop and then
With the goats and
right,
like, I do exercise a bit and that's just because I gotta keep a healthy heart.
yeah,
Hmm.
But I'm over here just like I got up swimming and I was like, all right, I didn't even realize how much like workout swimming was until I'm doing it. Like you know it like in the back of your mind, you're like, yeah, I know it's like a workout and whatever. But then when I'm like doing it, I'm over here like, oh my God, I'm half drowning halfway in the pool and just like it's a thing. Anyways, I'm getting better and I'm living, so I mean that's a plus.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Hooray for living!
Stronger every day.
Enjoy for life.
Yes. Hey, I
Yes.
mean, honestly, that's what we're all about. I feel like as artists, our creations are part of our life, and our life is infused
Hmm.
in it. So, I mean, what better way to
Yeah.
stay alive than to keep creating and keep doing the things that you love?
No, absolutely. I think that there's beauty in creation and I think there's beauty in like being able to like take facets of your life, whether it just be an emotion, things that are happening, etc., and just be like, all right, I'm gonna infuse this in my art because I know somebody else is gonna be feeling that way too. Or at least be seen at the same
Yeah,
time.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that brings up another question. How much of you is in your story and in your characters?
So, admittedly, a lot of my characters are not like me in anything but
Oh,
somewhat appearance. So I want brown people in fantasy. And so I was like, my girl's brown, just like me. And I was like, I just want people to come up, look at a book, and know that they have a bit of representation in there. And so that's pretty much the only part of me that's in there. As far as the characters go, I just had fun with it. I was like, chaos. Chaos ensues. I want all of them to have chaos. And I love, like, my books are multi-POV. So every
okay.
chapter comes from the perspective of a different character. And that was just fun. It was like role playing a bit. You're just like, oh, okay, I'm like this person this time. And then the next chapter, I'm like somebody completely different. And I blame my ADHD, but it was just so much fun doing it because I did love reading, you know, like as I was saying before, like, I did read and watch a lot of fantasy, but I really especially love the multi-POV style that George R. R.
Mhm.
Martin had. You know, where you're just like enriched in these different characters, but especially for someone with a lot of neurodivergence like me, I love being able to like move between different characters at the same time because sometimes getting stuck in just one character's mind for a long time, I'm like, okay, I need a little bit of something else, you know?
Hmm.
So I infuse that in that as well.
I like
Very
it,
nice.
and it's very interesting to me because a lot of people they tend to put reflections of themselves in their books and in their characters. I mean, I'm no exception to the rule because my character is literally me. Um, because I sat on
Hey,
a
it's
pencil and it just kind of became a thing. So I'm like, well, you know what? I guess I'm in the book now. It's fine.
there
Uh,
you go.
but it's so interesting because there's like so many people, especially like with fantasy and Dungeons and Dragons.
Hmm.
I'll put up as like an example too because it's creative storytelling, and a lot of people when
Yeah,
they make their like fantasy characters, they tend to model it off of like a lot of
yeah.
themselves leak into the characters. So to hear that yours aren't quite like that is very interesting. And did you do that deliberately, or is that just kind of how your writing played out?
Um, it's it wasn't deliberately at first. Like my main character Eve initially was a little more like me in temperament, but then
Mm.
as I was writing her, it's one of those things where like your characters will kind of tell you, which I feel like nobody besides like creatives understand that concept. I'm like, no, like the characters were kind of just doing their own thing at some point. Like like every time, like when I started doing, it was after my first draft and I was doing like revisions, I started noticing, I was like, oh, she has like patterns of like stuff like I would never do or like feelings, emotions, etc. that aren't making any sense, but like it makes sense
Mm.
for this character. Um, and the other characters I just had a complete ball with because it was just fun. And I was like, what if I were the villain this time? And what if I were a familiar who was, you know, a servant boy in the castle? And what if I was a princess who, whatever? Um, so I just had like complete fun with it. So yeah, I wasn't completely deliberate. Initially, Eve was very much like me. And then as I was going through, I was like, this character is telling me they want to be somebody else. So I was like,
That's
that's
Harry
fair.
just spoke to
That's
you.
fair. There's only one of me anyways, all right?
You don't
Will
want
the
to be
real
me?
Slim
That's
Shady
fine.
please stand up? It's me. I'm the
right.
Slim Shady. The only, the only Slim Shady.
So, a fun question.
Hmm.
If you could bring any of those characters into your
Mm.
world and be a roommate with them, which one would you
Oh,
want to be a roommate with?
um, there's a character in there named Anna. I would love to be her roommate just because she's very chill and she has magic and and she has healing magic specifically, and I'm a klutz. So I think it would very much, so I think she would help out a lot. And yeah, that would be my character I would love to room with. Everyone else is chaos, and I don't know if they pull a knife on me in the middle of the night. So
I'm not cleaning the bathroom. Gonna put
you
a
ate
curse
my
on
leftovers,
you.
not the leftovers.
That is, I love it. I love that question, Frey. It's a good one.
Thank
Um,
you.
we got to steal one of the old classic questions, though. We're going to adapt
Okay.
it for something
Uh-oh.
that's not music. It's my
Uh-oh.
personal all-time favorite because we're going to launch a whole separate series based off it. Maybe we should just broaden the horizon a little bit more and not just do music. But if you were to describe your writings as a
Mhm.
food or foods, what would they
Food.
be?
Oh my
Stole
goodness.
that from you, Frey, my best friend.
Okay, okay. If I had
You're
to
welcome.
describe my writing as a food, I would probably say like I would probably say like a supreme pizza because there's just a little bit of everything on there, but it also tastes good at the end of the day. And if you don't like some toppings, you could just take them off and the pizza's still there and it still tastes good. So,
There it is. Yep.
yay,
We're going to have
a
to totally try
pizza.
that
And
one.
pizza is also my favorite food, so it works out.
Pizza works on
Pizza's
everything.
good.
And
Yes.
pineapples on the pizza.
Yes, pineapples on the pizza. Okay.
Yes.
Look, I
Here.
always bring
Here.
when I'm randomly like promoting different events I'm going to, sometimes I'll say like, oh, if you want to meet a quirky author and talk about like whether or not pineapple goes well on pizza, just come find me. And people will actually come find me and ask me if does pineapple belong on pizza. My personal opinion is whatever you prefer is the right answer. However, for me, if there's pineapple, okay, now here's where the hot take is. If there is pineapple, I don't want chunks. I want slices. I don't like the chunks. I don't want to eat the chunks.
Yeah,
I
I
just
agree.
want the slices.
I agree.
Give me the slices.
I've only ever seen chunked pineapple on pizza. I don't know how I feel about
Okay,
slices.
okay,
Well,
so years ago, I was in Poland and they had this like pizza joint in this one like small like town or whatever. And I was starving. Me and a few friends were starving. We're like, oh, let's just go to this pizza place, like whatever. And they had sliced pineapple on their pizza. And it tasted so like I don't even know how to describe it, but it tasted really good. I still dream about it. Will I ever go back there? Probably one day. But I still dream about that pizza just because it was so good. And I don't know what kind of voodoo magic they did with it, but they did something and it tasted
It's the
amazing.
slices. It's
right.
because
It's
they
the
didn't
slices,
cube it.
the pineapple slices. I've yet to even try to create it over here because I'm like, what if it just doesn't measure up? Maybe it's like I went so extra with fantasizing it in my mind that like I'm gonna try it again and be like so disappointed, you know?
You just wake up in the middle of the night. You're like, oh, pineapple. It's like
Pineapple.
just I had another nightmare, honey. I'm sorry.
It's literally like my sleep demon at this point. It's literally just like the pineapple pizza in the corner.
You're at like sleep paralysis, and you just see like a pineapple pizza floating above you.
Yeah, exactly.
Though, to be fair, I do think that would be the nightmare of many people, especially in the U.S., because it's a hot take to even like pineapple on a
Oh,
pizza.
that's
So
true.
I know.
all
Some
that
people
negative
get so
energy
extra.
culminated and created the pineapple pizza demon.
Yeah, I was just,
I can just see like one of those
oh yeah,
puppets, like a Muppet,
yeah.
and it's just like, I'm
Oh my
pineapple pizza.
gosh.
Rah.
I'm saying, like, you know what was, you mentioned
Future
puppet, and
CTE
I,
is short.
yeah, you mentioned puppet, and you know what? I'm gonna go on a slight tangent here, but I literally, have you guys ever watched Goosebumps? Please tell me you did.
Absolutely.
Right.
Oh my god.
Absolute. Okay.
Not to interrupt
Okay.
you, but I could name
Yeah.
every book in the original series front to back. You just named a number, and I'd be like, "Yes, this title is this title." I was obsessed with
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so literally, I didn't know. I think it was on Netflix or something like that. But I literally saw they had Goosebumps, and I was like, you know what? Let me see if it's like, as good as I remember, because we were talking about nostalgia, right? And like, I literally watched it, and I was like, this is entertaining. Like, it's obviously like the acting's cheesy and stuff like that because it's meant for kids or whatever. But I was entertained. Like, I was watching the one about the girl with the mask. Like she like steals the mask and puts it on. It can't get off or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, I would be terrified. What are you talking about? The mask is so gross and it's like skin. And I was like,
it.
anyways, all that to say, I've always like loved horror as well. So that's why when I did my third book, which is My Dreams Come True, which I should have had it here, put it like this. We'll just pretend it's like right here. But My Dreams Come True, it's a horror story collection. And I literally was just like thinking about like scary stories to tell in the dark and Goosebumps when I was writing it. Because I was like, it was just, I miss like reading books like that that just kind of give you like this horror, like
Right.
nostalgic vibe, but it's also different stories in there and images. And like, I miss like, when did we get rid of picture books for adults?
No.
Why? I think we need to read more books with pictures in them, and that's okay.
I
Yeah.
agree with that,
Crazy
being a
art.
comic book creator, and
There
Frae
you
probably agrees with that
go.
too, being a manga creator.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Picture books for adults. We never
Picture
stopped. It
books for
just went to
adults.
indie.
Exactly. Yes.
There's a market for that, I'm assuming.
No, there has. You know what's so crazy is when I published Blood of the Blackthorn, when I was publishing it, I had a formatter who did the interior, and they're amazing. However, I didn't have any character art or anything in there. I was more focused on, I'm about to go into heart surgery in like a month. Let me just like,
Yeah.
have like, let's put a finished product out there. And so, my initial copy of Blood of the Blackthorn was, just a regular book, had like the typical like header, chapter headings and stuff like that. There wasn't really any images besides like the fantasy map inside. And then once I finished my recovery, I found in the interior formatter I wanted to work with before, but our like timelines didn't work. She ended up having a cancellation. So she like put on Instagram like, oh hey, like if anyone wants to take the slot. And I was like, I'll take it. Give it to me. And she literally just like created like I decided, okay, I'm gonna get the licensing from all the illustrators and, sign the contracts I need to so that way I can go ahead and add the character art inside of the book. And oh my goodness, just like as I showed you, like adding the designs, the character art, the fantasy map, putting everything together, it felt much more like me. And I was like, this is really like what I want out there because again, I just love looking through books and just seeing
Hmm.
like images because let's be honest, like otherwise we're gonna imagine who we want to imagine. Even you could put the most succinct detail in there and you're still gonna imagine who you want to imagine as characters. I'm still gonna
Mm,
imagine Pedro Pascal as every guy in there that's a good guy, maybe the villain, I don't know. But having images in there, it's kind of exciting because you're like, okay, I know how like the author is imagining this character, and now I can like fan cast in my head, like, oh, this is who I would put in that place because they look similar, and it's fun.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Hmm. Let's see. I actually want to talk more about your horror collection
hmm
that's coming out.
Mhm.
So,
Yay.
how
Actually,
many?
give me a second. Let me grab it real quick because I might as well just like have it right here.
You
Give
already
me a
have the
second.
prototype for that too?
Huh? I
Right.
do. I do. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Yes.
Be sure to subscribe if you enjoy listening to the podcast.
There we go. This is a perfect time to promote.
Yes, promote. You
Yep,
guys love us. We love you. Why not make it more official?
that's right. Frae official. It's like,
That's my best
womp
friend.
womp womp.
Yeah.
But
Frae's
yeah.
got
Okay,
great stuff.
I'm back. This is it.
Ooh.
Ooh, very
Like,
awesome.
yeah, this is it. I was like, I don't know, it was just fun. It was just fun. It was like little lightning. There's like a little desert theme in there. Anyways, what was the question?
Just tell us about the book.
Oh, hello. Hi,
big,
everybody. I'm gonna do this again.
big explanation.
I know, right? I have to have the book here and I have to awkwardly put my head like this in order for
Exactly.
it to work. So essentially, My Dreams Come True is a horror story collection, which is pretty much a collection of stories that I've, been writing over the past like 5 years that I've like stuffed in my drawer, that I've had like on my computer in files that I've been collecting dust forever. And really, it's kind of a story about, or collection of stories about how your imagination really is the scariest thing out there. So every story kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Every story in there kind of challenges the idea that really what is scary isn't what's out there, it's really like what's in here. Because if I were to tell you, oh, the scariest thing is around the corner, but I don't tell you what it is, your mind is going to be the one thinking, like, oh my God, it's going to be this, a spider, a ghost,
Right.
a masked man,
Yeah.
whatever it is. And yeah, it was really exciting writing those. I have like stories from all different periods of time, and there's also like images in there as well. So like, ta-da! And
Nice.
yeah, and then ta-da!
Awesome.
Yeah, I just like, again, I think every book for just because once I started doing it with my first novel, I just fell in love with like adding like images and pictures to like my books because I just think it's so much fun. Like this one's creepy.
Oh yeah.
It reminds me of those like scary stories to tell in the dark, like books they used to have for
Exactly.
like the
That was the
kids, and
point. Yes.
I loved and hated those because some of those had like
Oh,
stories that still haunt me to this day, and then some of them were just like really goofy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you a question. When was the first time that you all ever saw Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, like the actual book?
Uh,
How old were you?
I was in middle school.
I was in
Okay.
elementary school, but I can't remember what grade. It was like fourth or third.
It would literally was in the Scholastic book fair. And I'm
It
like, I
was.
read it now because I had this like like this like all of the books, there's this omnibus or whatever I have. And I decided to go through it just because I was like, maybe it's not as scary as I remember. I'm reading those and I'm like, why were we 9 years old in the Scholastic book fair picking those up? Like, who in their
Yep.
right mind? Like, heads are rolling. There's a big toe and the ghost is coming back for it.
Yep.
Like, the head
Oh,
is rolling down the chimney. And
yep.
this is like, even my images are a little more tame than the ones they had in there
Yeah.
because they had like the hair and like it was just like creepy.
Hmm.
Um,
I
and I'm
still
just sitting. Go
I
ahead.
still have like trauma over some of those things. Like they or every like Halloween at least for like 2 or 3 years they would play like the audiobook version of it on a CD in the classroom like while we were like
Oh.
studying and stuff. And like all I can remember is there were some where I would know the cues like they were gonna scream and stuff, so I'd like cover my ears and try to
Yeah.
like not hear it because I'm a total wuss when it comes to horror. I'm not.
Yeah.
If you want to have a fun laugh, you take me to a haunted attraction and watch me freak out. Like I will not do it willingly. I mean, it would I'd have to owe you a really big favor or debt to do it
Yeah.
in the first place because me on my own volition, I'm not going to another one of those. But I'll tell you, I'm like easily scared, so I don't
We can't.
tend to watch it. But yet some things just rope me in. So it's like if it starts and
Yeah.
I get engrossed in it, I can't turn away, but I'm gonna like get like some sort of like trauma from it, or I'm gonna be afraid of something for a little
Yes.
bit. It's like that as a kid, and I can still like hear it now to this day. The one hearse song that they had in it, like, have you ever thought when a
Oh
hearse
my
goes by that
gosh.
you might be the next to die? I'm just like,
Hmm.
I was freaked out. I'm just like, no thanks.
But that's what I'm
I can still hear
saying.
the
I'm
song
like,
in my head.
Mm. No, we can't take
it's a rite
those
of passage.
screams.
Wait, which one?
I was saying, me and him, you can't go to the Field of Screams this year. Oh,
Um,
Ugh.
You're
I'll be
going by
there in
yourself.
spirit.
There you go.
I'll be there in spirit. I love all things spooky. Like my favorite holiday is Halloween. I love the dressing up. I love
I
getting
like
spooked out.
trick or
Now,
treating and
I'm
stuff. That's
I am
fun.
also a big scaredy cat. I am a massive scaredy cat. I will have nightmares. I already, like we were joking earlier, I already have sleep paralysis. I have the nightmares. And for some reason, I'm just masochistic enough to be like, I want more of this in my day-to-day life as well. And to be honest, I was very young when I started reading, I started, reading different books. But the books that come to mind first is always horror. Like
Mm.
one of my mom had a collection of Stephen King horror novels, and I, being the young, precocious kid, was like, let me just go in and pick a book off her shelf to read, whatever. And I'm over here reading The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon, Misery, It, like all the like Cujo, all this stuff is like absolutely terrifying. Especially the I don't know if you've heard of that one, The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. Like it literally is just about a girl who gets lost in the Appalachian Mountains and something's following her, but she doesn't know what it is. It ends up being, I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, but it ends up being something very simple but terrifying. But it's just the concept. You read it, you're like, oh, I mean, it's scared to get lost in the woods, no big deal. But like the way he wrote it, I'm over here just like having panic attacks for this kid. Anyways, all that to say, I have a definite love for horror, and I just knew, I was like, especially as I started, once I finished Flame in the Silver Storm, and I was like, well, I have a big gap in my publishing schedule, like between now and when I'm going to be putting out the third book in the series. I like, let's see what I can do. Maybe I could put out a story collection, but as I was going through, I started seeing like horror, horror, horror. And then even in my desk drawer, there was like one manuscript I had for a book I just couldn't finish because it just like I wanted to make a novel out of it, but it just wasn't working. And then I was like, what if I made them like a story collection, like a horror story collection? And then that's when everything kind of came together because I was like, oh, these were never meant to be novels. Like they
Mm.
work with the length that they are. And so that's why, that's what came into this. So, and
Even
then
that cover, it just reminds me of something that would be like scary stories to tell in the dark, which is why, like, when I saw it, I had like a moment of being triggered. I'm like, oh no, not again.
Yeah, I know, right? Don't look at it.
It is a
Look at the
beautiful cover, though. I
cover.
do like it.
Look at it.
Thank you.
No,
I
no.
literally have so much fun. I do the designs for my cover for all my covers. I do the designs because I worked corporate, and for a while in corporate, like I was doing a lot of like newsletters and stuff, and like I don't have a degree in design, of course, but like I just had a lot of fun like being creative over the past few years that I was like, well, I know exactly how I want my cover to look. So obviously I can't do this art. So I
Mhm.
hired an artist to do the art, but then I did the design around it. But yeah, it's just there's a lot of fun. It's just a lot of fun. And like, yeah, I would consider this more like a scary stories to tell in the dark for adults. Or
Mm,
if you love Goosebumps, you will like this too. So
nice.
That's good to know.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you're like good.
I'll read
You're
your
like,
other
I will
books.
stay far from it.
Yeah, I'll read your other books, but I don't know about that one.
I'm getting that.
Yeah. There
Yeah,
you
Frank's gonna be
go.
like, look at it, Tanner, look at it. I'll be like,
Look at this
"Ah,
book.
Look,
But it
ah,
won't
read
be
it.
any. It won't
It's
be
very
any of the
short too.
pictures. It'll just be like the text. I'll be just like, look at the text. This text
I'll,
is so scary looking.
and I'll
Oh my
feel the
gosh.
power off the text, and I'll still be like, ah.
Help me! I just had so much fun with this because like I don't even know how to explain it. Like, because but when you're like deep in like one specific story, like for example, the Eternal Curse series, the one Flame in the Silver Storms book two,
Mhm.
the Eternal Curse series, I was like immersed in that world for so long. I was like, I just need like a palate cleanser. And so when I finally decided, finding all these stories and decided to do a horror story collection, I was like, I could just wait till next year. Like I could just wait and like all this other stuff because like it's so soon. Like I'm a psycho. Why would I do that? And then I was like, well, why wait? Like why can't like who's telling me I can't like do that? Who's telling me like I can't publish like when I want
Yes.
to? Exactly. I'm like, I have the power. I am the boss and the editor. And like the crier, well, actually, I have editors. However, I'm self-editing before I send it to them. And like, I'm the writer, I'm the author, I'm the owner. I'm like, I can literally do it. Like, I was like, all right, well, I don't want to wait, so I don't have to wait. And so I'm just gonna release it, and I'm gonna have fun with releasing it.
There
So,
you
I love it. That does tie into one question I did want to ask to bring us back to the
mhm,
question portion, because you did say you have your own publishing company that you run.
mhm.
What does how does the process of publishing your book look for you, since you are basically in charge of all of it, and who do you go through for like printing and everything?
Okay. So I'm based in Austin, Texas. And
Hmm.
so what I did first and foremost when I finally decided like, oh, I want to like make a business plan, etc., I decided to do a DBA. So doing business as for those who don't know. I decided to create a publishing imprint called Queen of Wands Books and file it as a DBA, within my state. And through Queen of Wands books, how I publish is I obviously write the manuscript and I find the editors. So the editor for my fantasy books is the same. So it's Heather from Simply Spelled on Edits. She's completely amazing. Um, and then after the editing goes through, at the same time I'm writing. So like I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, editor has my work. I'm just going to be writing in the meantime another story because I have so many different stories that haven't even been published yet that are in the works for next year.
Wow.
Um, and yeah, so she'll literally just do the editing part, send it back to me. Once I have the manuscript, at the same time, like I'm having like all the artists I want to do, like to have character art inside or the cover artist as well. And I'm doing a lot of marketing promotion. I will say I wish my job was more writing, but it's actually more marketing and promotion than
Hmm.
anything, as I'm sure you all know as well.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm writing, but I'm also like, okay, let's go on Instagram, let's go on TikTok, let's go on Threads, like, and just yap about my book, but also like, contributing to the community as well, because I'm not the only author out there. I'm not the only indie author out there. And I
Hmm.
really do think it's important to foster a community of creatives as well. So I'm over
Yeah.
here like, this artist is amazing, or I'm reposting like other authors' works, and like you just got to give love back to the community as well. Anyways, all back to the publishing thing. Yeah, and once I get like there's a lot of like moving pieces at the same time. Because once I get the cover art back, I'm like, okay, let's go ahead, make sure it fits with Amazon Ingram Spark, draft to digital. Let me make sure I design my cover the way I want it to look. Make sure it looks like the same on both. Because what I don't want happening is like Blood of the Blackthorn, the title being bigger than like Flame in the Silver
Yeah.
Storm, and it just like looks off if somebody were to have both of them. Um, and then at the same time, if I need like any promotional copies, so like if I'm going to be promoting a bookstore or whatever, and I just go through like a local printer, Jen's Copies, shout out to you, to do like just quick like 20 of them at the same time. And yeah, I don't know if I'm answering your question, but there's just like a lot of moving pieces at the same time. And I pretty much go through Ingram Spark, Amazon, and Draft to Digital because those are, the places that bookstores use and that
Hmm.
other, people that are going to be getting your books use as well. So, and also events. It's very easy to like, be able to go ahead and print your work and then bring it to them. So,
Yeah.
so it's a lot. It's a lot like going on behind the scenes. Like, yeah, I could yap for an hour about that.
No, it's always nice to see how somebody else does it, because I'm kind of like, I guess, my own publishing thing too. I have Tanner's Tales
Uh-huh.
Entertainment, which is my company. I actually had like the LLC and stuff figured out for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So like I need to get better at the marketing front. I've been a little lax on it. I'm a father. I have a full-time job still, so it's
Hmm.
like I have two full-time jobs and the business. So it's like trying
Yeah.
to make sure that they all get equal time is almost not possible.
No,
So it's like I'm
impossible.
trying to come up with new ways of marketing, which I think I have at least a better plan now than I used to. So I'm going to try to
Hmm.
implement that within the next month or so. Um, but like, yeah, it's a hustle, and I love to hear like
Yeah.
other people's process behind it, because it helps me
Hmm.
to kind of, I don't know, it's like inspiration for me trying to see like how other people do it, and if I like something, I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, I'm gonna try to take that and implement it in my own
Yeah.
way to figure out how I can, you know,
Yeah.
restructure my own thing. So it's always inspiring to hear what other people do.
I think it's also important too to not gatekeep. So like
Mhm.
on my Instagram and TikTok, I'll have every like every other Tuesday or so, or whenever I get the inspo, I have what's called Tell All Tuesdays, and the whole sh like thing for it is pretty much just saying like Tell All Tuesdays, and pretty much telling, yeah. I can't remember what the last one was, but and honest, yeah, if you like your ass scroll down quite a, I post every day. But yeah, so I have what's called Tell All Tuesdays, and what I pretty much do is it's gonna be one of those. I use the cover of my book as like the covers for like these videos I do. So you would
Ah,
have to like so you would have to like go through the like no wait. No, no,
not the right one.
Mm-mm.
it's the other way. The other way.
Oh, do you want me to go the other way?
Yeah, the other way. Keep going. You're gonna keep going for a minute. Because like I said, I post every day. Ta-da! Keep going. But yeah, I have what's called Tell All Tuesdays, which pretty much I go ahead and there you go. Bam, that's one of them. And what I pretty much do is Tell All Tuesdays, I tell everybody about things that can help indie authors out specifically so that way they can spend less time fumbling around, more time focused on their next book. So I do like, oh, here's how you make a link tree. Here's how you do cover or like your cover design. And this is how you could do it in Canva. And this is, you know, this is what I do when I'm at events. Sometimes I'll gift wrap my books, and here's what I do inside. Or, hey, you want somebody to leave you a review, a reminder via a little like a card or a letter inside of the back of your book could help. So I just
Hmm.
kind of like give, like I said, giving back to the community, I think is very important, and also making sure
Yeah.
that, everybody starts out somewhere. Like somebody who's looking at that is probably somebody who thinks like, oh, this is just too difficult. I don't know if I could do this. And when in reality, it's like, actually, no, I can do this because, it's how-to videos and stuff as well.
Hmm. Oh yeah. That's really nice. I love
Yeah,
that.
thanks.
Wow. All right, I'm gonna bring us back here. I figured I'd
Ta-da!
share a little bit
Bring me
about your
back.
Yeah.
your page because we haven't shared any of the stuff yet.
Ta-da!
It's like I'll pull it up. That
No,
is
it's okay.
no, I love this though. I find a lot of indies that are really passionate about what they do. They don't gatekeep. Like I've heard of a couple people that do,
Yeah.
but a lot of people in the indie field, I feel like we're all just willing to be like, "Hey, you want to learn how to do
Yeah.
this? You want to actually make your dreams come true?" Which is kind of like part of this whole podcast too. We want to
Yeah.
interview all the
I
amazing
like how
indie
you use the
creators.
title.
Yeah, I mean, your dreams do come true, and that's the first part of it is giving people back the power to believe in themselves and that their dreams
Yeah.
are worth something. And if we can help impart that to people, then we have more artists emerging that are actually following, pursuing, and making their dreams
Yeah.
come true. And what I've come to realize is that the kingdom of dreams is really like the kingdom of heaven in a sense. It's like anything that you could want to make heaven a reality on earth is all made up of dreams. And if we all are out there creating it, then this world can be so much better.
Oh my
And
gosh, absolutely.
that's what we're
I
here for.
refuse, yeah, and I refuse to believe in the whole like, oh, there's too many artists or too many
Hmm.
authors. I'm like, even as a reader, because most authors and artists are readers or
Hmm.
viewers, etc. And like, I'm a reader. Just because I will auto buy from one author doesn't mean I only read that author. Like, I'm over here reading a bunch of other authors as well and
Yeah.
finding new authors and indie authors as well. And like, I refuse to believe that the world has too many of artists or creatives or authors because I, somebody might not like my books, but maybe they'll see I'm promoting somebody else's books who are
Hmm.
like in their like vibes and stuff. And
Yeah.
I think that's good. Or like again, you want to like just foster the community. And again, we're all here to help each other out.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
And so many aspects of creation. Like Frae and I, we have such different art styles. Like we might be somewhat similar in some content aspects, but we're all different. And that's every independent artist I've ever met. Nobody's copying somebody else's work word for word. They are taking it,
Yeah,
making it their own. They are out there producing their own vision of art. And that is the
yeah,
beautiful thing about indie creators and just artists in general is we all can exist side by side because we're not going to copy each other. We might be able to take techniques and stuff that we like from one another and figure out a
Yeah.
way to like make it our own, but we're still producing our own visions, our own dreams, and none of those are ever going to be the same. And that is one
Hmm.
of the most beautiful things. And that's what we want to see. There is no like there's no such
Limit. The
thing.
limit doesn't exist.
Yeah. No limits, and there's never too many artists. And whoever's
Yeah.
saying that, they're full of crap. Yeah.
There you
Keeping it PG,
go.
even though most of our podcast episodes have swearing in it, which is
Okay,
totally
yeah,
fine.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure, so I was trying to tone it down because sometimes I have a potty mouth and I just like, hold on.
You're,
It's like,
I'm
remember?
so surprised.
No.
You're probably the
Huh?
most you're probably the most PG of all of our guests so far. At
Eh.
least in the most
Actually,
recent
wait,
ones.
no. Darn it.
It's okay if you want to let a swear word go now, you can.
Fuck.
Yay! That's my
Ta-da!
favorite part of the interview.
Hold on.
Yeah.
When people curse.
I'm loving this. Oh my goodness. I should be on a sitcom. Oh my goodness.
There you
I
go.
like to tell, like, to be funny, I like to tell people, I'm like, yeah, I'm a failed actress turned author. Like, just double whammy it there, you know?
Hey, I mean, you can always start a YouTube series. I mean,
I
it's
mean,
kind of what I
hey,
did.
that's a lot of work. I praise you all for it. Right now, I'm like swamped. Maybe one day though. Never say never. I'm a yapper, so
You can always
who
show up in a
knows?
number 2 Pencil Man video if you want.
There you go. I'll be number 5 pencil, whatever the hell it is. I can't even remember. I know there's something else, and I just can't remember what it is.
Hey, I'm
I'll be
gonna
the
have some
mechanical
characters
pencil.
that you might like. Who knows?
There you go.
Mhm.
I look forward to the day somebody cosplays one of the characters from my books. That isn't
There you
myself,
go.
because I cosplay my character constantly.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I would, yeah, that would be amazing. That would just be incredible. I don't, whatever.
I
That'd
think
be
I would
Goals.
awesome.
cry.
What'd you say, Frae?
I think I would cry.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
You're like,
really?
I need a
That's my
picture.
character?
I'd give a
What are
free
you
merch. I'd
talking
be
about?
like, "Yeah, do you have this
You
comic
know,
book?
just
Here you
take my
go.
Right.
table. Take my table. You can have
Whatever you
everything.
want."
Goodness, that would be awesome. Oh my goodness.
Mm.
The
Dang.
day I come face to face with another Pencil Man, though, that's going to be a little awkward at first. Be like, "Hi, I'm number 2 Pencil Man." I'd be like, "I'm number 2 Pencil Man." I'd be like, "What?"
It's like the Spider-Man meme, you know, where they're
Right.
all like
Yeah,
pointing at each other. Yeah, exactly. What are you
somebody's got to
talking
be
The
there
about?
for that.
multiverse.
Oh man, no, this is great.
Mhm.
I guess we're coming to the end of this, Frey. Do you have any other questions?
Yes. So after your next 2 books come out, what
Mhm.
is your, I guess, 2026 plan?
Mm.
So 2026, I have quite a bit of events lined up from like March to October. I have at least like one event a month. One of the ones I'm really, really looking forward to, although I'm looking forward to all of them. One of the ones I'm really looking forward to is Imaginarium. I'm really excited for that one.
Mm.
Um, that one I'm really excited for, and shout out to Imaginarium. And as far as publishing, I have one, two, 3 more books in the works that I'm going to be releasing. After next year, then I'm going to break it down to where I'm just doing 2. I'm trying to build my backlist. That was part of my business plan, build your backlist. So,
Mhm.
but after, yeah, in 2027, it'll just be like maybe 1 or 2 books a year. But yeah, so next year is going to be obviously the 3rd book in the series. It's going to be a historical fiction novel. It's
Mm.
more just like what I call the Mummy meets Zorro, like in 1920s Yucatan. So I'm really excited for that one. And
Mhm.
then a horror novel, like a full-length novel. So sorry, Tanner, you're probably not going to want to read it, but I'll
I
still
won't
show you
read
the
that one.
cover like this. I'll be like this, look at
Oh,
Look at
it.
it.
What's in the box?
ah. I'll read the other ones though.
There you go. There you go.
Man.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
But
that's
yes,
all I got.
that's it.
I was gonna say, any other questions, Frey?
No, sir.
Okay, well then I guess there's only one more to ask, and that is, Rocio, where can all of our viewers and listeners find you? Like, tell us about
All
where they can
right.
get your
All
stuff.
right. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, or Threads. My handle is the same on all 3 of them. It's at Rocio Carranza Writes. Don't worry, ROCI. I could spell it out for you, but I always just like add it in there.
We'll put
Rocio
it in the
Carranza
link
Writes. Next
below.
thing, I know, right? Especially with the heavy accent. Rocio Carranza Writes. You know? Anyways, that's where you can find me. And yeah, I am on Blue Sky at Rocio Carranza. I don't go on there as much. Probably should. I'll probably change that in 2026, but I'm on there as well. I was like, I didn't want anyone to steal my name, so I was like, let me be the first one on there. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
And do you have a website for your books?
Yeah, www.rociocarranza.com.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's super exciting. Rocio, thank you for being here. First off, I got to say, you have been a phenomenal guest. We've enjoyed talking with you.
Yay.
It feels like we really had a really good like back and forth. You feel like a friend
Yeah.
now.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Yeah, thank you all for having me on. And thank you to Frae, who I met at Fright Reads Book Fest. Like we were just like yapping. So I probably yapped his ear off in order to get here. So,
He's
you
It
used
was
to
know.
that now.
wonderful.
He's friends with
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Frey's the silent type who sits there drawing and doing
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm just like, but I'm
And I'm
taking it
just,
all in. I'm
and I'm just like,
absorbing
blah,
it
blah,
Yeah.
all.
blah, blah, blah,
Frey,
blah, blah, blah,
you know
blah.
what? Frey would be the spy, like the one sitting in the corner, just like taking copious notes or whatever, and you would never suspect him at all.
Right.
So there you go. Yeah.
I'd
There's
be
a
the guy who's
power in
just sitting there and
silence too.
annoying
So
him. Hey, what you doing? Hey, talk
it's
to me,
like
bud.
the golden retriever black cat thing, you just like,
Pretty much.
I
Yeah,
thought
all
it
our
was
yeah.
the golden
conversations are
You
just
guys
like,
retriever.
are even dressed like you're wearing like black right now, and then you're like having like a blue, bright, yeah, the yellow. It's like there
I'm
you
all
go.
happy-go-lucky over here, and he's emo Frey.
Hey, we love emo Frey. There
that's
you
right.
go. I
That's
hey,
right.
I had my emo phase too in middle school, just like everyone else. It was a rite of passage. I'm over here with like My Chemical Romance and just like tears, whatever. It's okay.
Before I moved, I had my emo wig.
Yeah, I was gonna
It was
say, we
like a
need that
black
back.
Stop!
wig that I would bring onto the
Yes!
camera and wear, but it's packed away in storage right now.
That's our next piece of merch. We need a I love emo Frey shirt, and it has like
Right.
Frey.
Yes. I will wear that next time I'm here because I assume I'm
Nice.
already putting it out there. I'm assuming that I'm gonna just come on here at some point again.
Yes,
Yes,
actually,
you
we
will.
we
Yeah.
want you to come back. Like anybody who's
Yay.
been on the show, it's an open invitation for them to come back.
Hey.
And this is also a good segue into our end things here. So I'll just do the promotional end things quick, Frey, unless you want to talk about something.
No, you're good. Oh, you want me to start
Yeah, go for it.
the
You do it.
promotions?
You do it.
Oh, all right. So, FraeOfficial.com. Always go over there. There's a website. You can get prints. You can get commissions. You can get the official verse, which is my trading card board game that I created. It's available. I think I still have the standard boxes currently, but there will be a big old update for the series in December. It's going to have at least 14 or 15 new characters, more cards, new rules. It's called Official Verse Reloaded. So it's just like part 2. And because I didn't do any promotion for it this year because I wanted to focus on my other thing, which is Inlock Volume 4. It's been 3 years since Volume 3, and I know people are like, where the heck is Volume 4? It will be out in October. So thank God for that.
Now you won't have misery.
Right, right. Thank you. And then I have a comic coming out that are starring my Frey mascot characters called Five Dolls. It's about the character Rain. She gets into a band, and it's kind of like a K-pop-ish band, and so
Yes.
it's a music comic.
Yeah.
But it's more aligned for children instead of my Inlock series, which is more for adult.
There you go.
Yes, so that should be out in November-ish, hopefully. And then Pencil Man number 3 will be
Yes.
out in the first quarter of 2026. I'll be
Which we're
drawing
super
that.
excited for.
Yes.
We're super excited for
Yay.
all the projects of Frey because Frey's stuff is great. If you haven't read his stuff, I highly recommend it, being his #1 fan and best friend. I have all 3 endlocks. I have the art book. I've read some of the short stories that he has for his
There you
sneak
go.
previews for his other mangas that have yet to come out yet. And I'm super stoked. And I have official verse. I'm a super fan. I have a t-shirt. Not everybody has the t-shirt. I'm not wearing his t-shirt
Oh.
tonight, but I got one. definitely check out his stuff. I love it, and obviously he's my artist. So if I don't talk good about him, then I'm teasing. I'm teasing. No, Frae's a
If you
lovely
notice
human.
any flaws in the artwork, you can just throw it to me. Just don't put it on Tanner.
Also, get commissions from him. He does amazing commissions.
Yes, and they're hand drawn, and I frame them and I
Yes,
send them to you. Yes.
yeah. Frae is a multi-talented artist. I can't talk enough about my best friend, but is that everything that you have, Frae?
Yes,
All
sir.
right, cool. No, I just wanted to double check before I go into my thing. Obviously, as you can see, I have new Tanner's Tales merchandise for
Whoop
my
whoop.
business. I have a Printify store. I decided, you know what? I'm going to do print on demand because why not? I don't have to worry about having the stock on hand, but I can get it easily if I want to. Um, yeah, so that's new. You can get yourself one of these cool T-shirts because I am reviving the YouTube channel, and I have a big announcement. I know there's a lot of people who've been waiting for this. As we know, Number Two Pencil Man started on YouTube, kind of by accident. Wasn't supposed to be a thing, but became a thing, and we're going with it now, and people love it. Um, we did a live action a couple years ago, which was the pilot for issues 1 and 2 of the comic book. If you guys have read the comic book, definitely check out the original low budget, super cheesy quality YouTube video that exists of it. We are bringing back the Number Two Pencil Man video series, and we are going to do it. It might be canon, it might not be. It depends on how it goes. It's going to be kind of like filler for the Number Two Pencil Man universe. We're going to fill out the world a little bit more, introduce new characters, do fun little quests, and just little adventures. It's going to be the Number Two Pencil Man adventures. And we are starting off with a really fun one called Number Two Pencil Man Eye of the Donut, which is here set to release hopefully in October. We are going to be recording it in about a week. Um, so I'm super excited to be bringing it back. And
Yes.
yeah,
Yay!
it's been a long time
Yes.
coming.
Clap it
Skits
up
have
for
been.
yourself.
Huh? Oh, you want me to hit the cheering button?
Claps.
Yes, sir.
I'm not used to hitting the button for myself. Uh, but I'm super excited for this project, and I think where I'm at now with my skills with editing, I think I can make it at least a little bit better than the low budget cheesy version. It's going to be better quality camera work, and I'm going to have hopefully more people for this one. I'm excited about that. Shout out to my amazing fans who actually agreed to help me when I reached out to them. I have people coming in from 3 hours away that are going to come help me film this thing, so I am like
Nice.
blown away at the love I'm getting for it. So I'm super excited. And this is just the beginning because after I do this Number Two Pencil Man, we're going to try to keep it somewhat regularly, maybe once every other month or something. Depends. These productions are kind of hard to put on because I have to get people to help me, and I'm low budget still. So until my business takes off, which is going to happen at some point, I just can really afford to pay people gas money and food, which is the most important things, and costumes if I need
Amen.
them to be a character. So I'm just grateful for the support and help I've been getting to even make this a reality. And then we also have Glee coming out. We've my wife's character, Lamona, she's going to be stepping into Glee, the Fairy of Fun, and we're going to hopefully have a comic book out for her sometime soon as well, because a lot of people love the Glee character. And yeah, we're just going to really start building out the Tanner's Tales entertainment world. So I know that's a big announcement. It took up a little bit of time, and like Frae said, we're working on issue 3. I just got to finish the script, and I'll get it to Frae once he's finished with his books, and hopefully by the first quarter of 2026 we'll have it out. So the story will continue. New characters are getting added. New merchandise will drop. It's a whole big thing. So I'm super excited. I feel like things are really starting to take off, and I'm excited to see where it goes. So that's it for
Yay!
Tanner's Tales Entertainment. We do have a cool podcast announcement. If you guys haven't seen our last episode, which was just like an update video, we will be probably starting a Patreon soon. We're in the talks of figuring out how all that's going to look, what kind of exclusive content we're going to be offering. So that's going to be coming soon. But something that we do have, and I will show you because I'm super stoked, as some of you guys have noticed, we do have a logo now, Indie Synergy Exchange.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so that being said, we have to have a t-shirt. So on my Printify store, which I'll link below, we do have the Indie Synergy Exchange t-shirt. It's available in both black and white. Basically the only two colors that really matter for t-shirts nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
We do have it available on the shop, and all of that goes towards the four of us. So we split it evenly, and we put it towards either the project that we're doing here with Indie Synergy Exchange and the Dreamscape Empyrean, or we're going to split it amongst the four of us to help us keep going with our creative endeavors. So any purchase of that helps support us and our shows and our individual creations. So if you guys like what we do and you like the logo, maybe get a shirt. Maybe we'll have other merch too. We're thinking about hats, maybe a hoodie, who knows. Maybe we'll make some cool new merch like emo Frae stuff too. So
Yes, emo
we need a
Frae.
BFF shirt too, Frae. Like you and me, cartoon
We don't need
faces,
the
like right
BFF
next to
shirt.
each other.
We don't need the BFF shirt.
We need a
Let's keep
BFF
that one
shirt.
on the back burner.
It's gonna happen. But super exciting stuff happening here with Indie Synergy Exchange. And like I said, we're waiting until all four of us can be back together. Like tonight, Lamona wasn't able to be here, and neither was Rachel. We miss Rachel, we miss Lamona. So we're hoping that when the four of us get back together, we can really start relaunching as a brand and figuring out what we're going to do next. So stay tuned. We're finishing season 1 of Indie Synergy Exchange, and by the end of the year, we'll probably get ready to start season 2, which will be bigger and better and packed with all
Yay!
sorts of goodness. So stay tuned for all that. I think that's the last bit I have, which was super exciting stuff. So, Rocio, I don't want to leave you out of this. Can you give us a word of encouragement for our audience to sign us off?
A word of encouragement, follow your dreams and make them come true, but make a little plan first. There you go. Bit of
I
wisdom
love
in
it.
there as well. And
We
have
love
fun
it.
with it. Have fun. Indie stuff is
Yes.
awesome. I'm also biased, but still.
Woo! Woo! That was awesome, Rocio. Thank you again for being on the show. We would love to have you back. We got to have you back at some point.
Yay!
And thank you guys for being dreamers and dreaming with us. So until next time, keep dreaming.
Keep dreaming.
Bye.
Bye bye.